think about Oppenheimer's real-life history. Unless you've been fully preoccupied with Barbie, which opens this Friday and which, to be honest, we wouldn't blame you for being, you've heard of Christopher Nolan's new movie Oppenheimer. The much-awaited biopic is expected to be one of the most popular films of the year. It stars Peaky Blinders fave Cillian Murphy as protagonist J. Robert Oppenheimer, Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, and Robert Downey Jr. Oppenheimer chronicles the life of the late physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, from his ascent to scientific renown to his downfall as a result of his role in the development of the atomic bomb. Lacking familiarity with the tale, here's everything you need to know before sitting down to watch a movie, unless you like to look up the specifics afterward, in which case we got you covered. Describe Oppenheimer. The movie details the life of American physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, his contribution to the creation of the atomic bomb, and the lethal effects that resulted. The story follows Oppenheimer from his time as a student in Europe through his tenure as a professor in California, and finally to the infamous Manhattan Project, the covert U.S. program to create nuclear weapons, specifically a bomb to end World War II. The biography American Prometheus, The Triumph and Tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer, written over the course of 25 years and released in 2005 by Kai Bird and Martin J. Sherwin, served as a foundation for some of director Nolan's film. J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was he? Oppenheimer was born in New York into a prosperous German Jewish family. His early academic prowess earned him a spot at Harvard University at age 18, where he graduated in just 3 years. It generally takes 4 in America. When excelling in the classroom, he experienced mental health issues. He reportedly expressed suicidal ideas when a college student and left a poisoned apple on his tutor's desk while seeking a master's degree at Cambridge. Nevertheless, by World War II, he had established a name for his contributions to science and was a renowned professor at the University of California, Berkeley. At Berkeley, he fell in love with John Tatlock, a Communist Party member who is portrayed by Pai in the new movie. This later caused problems during his security clearance hearings. More on that in a moment. He married Catherine, sometimes known as Kitty, played by Blunt, after the pair broke up in 1939, and they had 2 children. However, he later had a relationship with Tatlock, who tragically committed suicide in 1944. For what was Oppenheimer renowned? Mostly due to his participation in the already mentioned Manhattan Project. Thanks for watching. If like this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Just 2 months before the U.S. entered the war in 1941, then President Franklin D. Roosevelt gave his approval to a program to produce an atomic weapon. But Oppenheimer wasn't asked to look into how to actually construct one until a year later. General Leslie Groves, played by Damon, chose Oppenheimer to run the project's secret weapons lab when he took over. The Manhattan Project, so named after its offices in the borough of New York, was a 3-year effort by Oppenheimer and his team of scientists in a facility in Los Alamos, New Mexico, to develop an atomic bomb. The Trinity test, the first nuclear explosion in history, was the result of this and was conducted on July 16, 1945. Years later, in an interview, Oppenheimer made the infamous claim that he had a vision of the Bhagavad Gita's famous sentence, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Approximately 200,000 people, the majority of whom were civilians, were killed when 2 bombs created as part of the project were dropped on the Japanese cities of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Soon after, Emperor Hirohito declared Japan's wartime surrender. How did Oppenheimer fare? Oppenheimer continued to advise the U.S. government on nuclear weapons, but he apparently did warn against the harm they could do, perhaps a little too late. He likened the nuclear weapons of the U.S. and the Soviet Union to 2 scorpions in a bottle, each capable of killing the other, but only at the risk of his own life. During a lecture in 1953, the Atomic Energy Commission (AEC) chairman Lewis Strauss, played by Downey in the new movie, revoked Oppenheimer's top-secret security clearance and demanded his resignation in December, during the Second Red Scare, fear of communism in America. But after declining, Oppenheimer lost his fight to defend himself in front of a large audience in a security hearing, which hurt the scientist's reputation. In spite of this, President Lyndon B. Johnson gave him the Enrico Fermi Award in 1963, which is the highest accolade given by the AIC. Heavy smoker Oppenheimer passed away from throat cancer in his Princeton home in February 1967. One of the biography's co-authors, Bird, stated in a recent New York Times opinion piece, It is my hope that Christopher Nolan's stunning new film on Oppenheimer's complicated legacy will initiate a national conversation not only about our existential relationship to weapons of mass destruction, but also the need in our society for scientists as public intellectuals. Oppenheimer and Einstein collaborated. You may have seen Tom Conti's portrayal of Albert Einstein in the movie's trailer amid all the commotion. Do you know if the physicist ever collaborated with Oppenheimer? The American Museum of Natural History claims that despite the fact that Einstein never directly contributed to the development of the atomic bomb and was turned down for employment on the Manhattan Project due to his security risk as a left-leaning political activist, he is frequently mistakenly credited with the invention of nuclear weapons. His renowned equation EMC2 describes the energy generated in an atomic bomb, but it does not explain how to construct one. Einstein consistently denied any involvement, saying that all he had done was write to President Roosevelt to recommend that the U.S. look into these kinds of weapons before the Germans did. He did express regret, saying, "Had I known that the Germans would not succeed in developing an atomic bomb, I would have done nothing," in an interview with Newsweek. Despite the frequent meetings between Einstein and Oppenheimer, it is believed that there is no proof of their working together on any scientific projects. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more breaking news updates like this one.